Hi back! This is one of the most fun parts, the part where we begin to add objects. The first object we are going to add is the world ball. We are going to the image, and as we can see, our beautiful Mother Earth is round-shaped. So we are going to take the basic selection tool, elliptical marquee tool. We can access this tool by pressing on the M key. Sometimes when I press on the M key, the square tool gets activated instead, so we could press Shift M and the selection tool will be shifting until getting the elliptical marquee tool. Shift M, we have the circle. If I do it this way, it is going to make an oval, but if I press Shift, it will make a circular selection. Our circle is not matching perfectly with the Earth shape here. I can move my selection by using the selection tool. But if I use the move tool, the selection will not move. It will cut instead. That's why we have to be carefully and pick a selection tool to move the selection. We need to make our selection bigger now. So I go to Select drop-down menu and I click on Transform Selection. I distort our selection a little bit here until it matches the edges. Then I press Enter. Now I want to make sure our selection edges are net. So I go to Refine Edge and make sure everything looks good. I look at it from different backgrounds. It looks good. So I press Cancel. Now I go to Windows, Arrange, to up vertical. Now I can see both documents at the same time. In this case, I want to move the planet here. I'm not going to do this using the selection tool. If I use the selection tool, the selection will move. Now, I have to use the move tool. This is the right time to do it. I move the word ball from one document to the other. I can use this document now. I don't save the other one. Look how interesting this is. Now the word ball is in between the wall and the floor. I name it Mundo, World. Let's bring the rest of objects. Open. Mouse. We can select the mouse using the Magic Wand tool. Magic Wand tool selects similar colors. In this case, if I select the white part, it is picking the white parts inside the mouse too. I can prevent this from happening if I ask the Magic Wand to only select contiguous pixels. If I click, now it only takes the nearby pixels. In this case, I need to refine the selection, but I have selected the white part when I really want the black part. Then I go to Select, Inverse. Now we have the mouse selected. I go to Refined Edge now. Now I find some imperfections here. I can correct them by clicking on the radius brush and adding some radius to remove that white border more efficiently down here. I can make the selection to be a little smaller than usual. Shift Edge, add contrast, add a fader, add smoothness. The edges are quite softer now. A little more contrast, perhaps here. I like it now. I can go to Windows, Arrange, to up vertical, and I drag the mouse to our main image. Notice how the net mouse selection is. Let's bring the pull bar now. We are going to use another method for selecting this pull ball. Instead of Magic Wand, I'm going to use the Quick Selection tool, which enables me to color, and it selects all the similar colors. In this case, I have almost gotten all the selection done, but the tool made some mistakes down here. I can press Alt and try to subtract the mistakes. I can also go pick the polygonal lasso tool and keep an Alt key pressed. I make a selection as I'm pressing Alt key. That selection gets subtracted. However, once I have selected my sphere, go to Refined Edge, and I realize the edge share looking really ugly. First, I'm going to give the edges some contrast and I'm going to make it smoother. I gave it a 100% smooth to make sure every sharp edges disappears. I give it some feather to make the borders a little transparent. In this way, when I move the ball to another background, it is going to blend in perfectly. I shift the edge to make the selection a bit smaller, 18%, and I'm happy with the selection. Okay. In this case, instead of doing windows arranged to a vertical, I'm going to click on the top and drag it to the side as we did on previous occasions. In this way, this window will be… I made a mistake here. The windows will be floating, right? As it is floating, I can pick this selection and bring it to our photomontage. Let me delete this layer. Okay, I have the next object. We use a similar procedure to select the Rubik cube. To select my Rubik cube, I can use the polygonal lasso tool. I click. Notice, I have to be very painstaking in order to ensure the maximum accuracy. God is present on the smallest details. What a crazy thing just happened! This selection got half away. It closed up before time. The cool things about selection tools is you can always use Shift and add the remaining parts. So, what had just happened is not really serious. It is simply a break time. We can fix it in a very simple way. We only have to press Shift key as we continue with the following parts of our selection. Let's join it here. Now this part is joined together. Let's subtract this part. Okay. And okay. And let's add this part. Okay. Our selection is completed. Let's make sure our selection is smooth. It is not too good. There are some white left over from the background. We simply go to our selection, we shift the edges, increase the radius, so it can eat up those sharp edges, and this will suffice. Our cube is acceptable now. Let's do as we did with the ball. Hopefully this time we don't move the whole document. And let's move our Rubik cube to this side. We now have a layer for each of our elements. On our next video, we are going to position the items and give them proper shading and reflection effects.